welcome to the O Show.
Well guys, it's that time of the week and it's time for another episode of the O Show, and we're here at the Leyton Orient FC Stadium. Let's crack on. Well, it has been a little bit of a topsy-turvy week, what with the O's playing on Wednesday in the Leeson.com Trophy against Brighton under-21s, and we've got to wait until Sunday until we play again. But it is the first round prop of the FA Cup. Can't wait. First though, let's head over to the training ground where Ross Embleton's waiting for us. Here we go.
So, Ross Embleton, thank you very much for joining me. One place to start, really, the midweek game against Brighton. What did you make of the performance from the lads?
I thought the game as a whole looked like probably how we expected it to. We knew we were going to come up against a team and a group of players of real ability, talented boys, young team, and they're very, very difficult games to go into because we know that the style in which they're going to try to come and impose on the game. So it's a little bit different, a little bit unique in terms of the competition and the team that you're going up against. But like I say, I think the game panned out sort of as we thought it might do. Really, they had sort of the lion's share of the possession in the first half, and without sort of really hurting us. Obviously, they did hurt us to a degree because they scored a goal, but didn't feel as though we were under a huge amount of pressure. And then we felt that we always had the opportunity to grow into the game, and I think we finished a stronger team, and probably on another day could have won it before the penalties.
Like you say, certainly finished the game the stronger side and could have nicked it in the 90 minutes. And there was a lot of room for rotation there, and a lot of lads didn't do any harm in putting themselves in the gaffer's mind. Yeah,
it's certainly been an approach we've had all season, or from the 3 games that we've had in this competition, is to use it as an opportunity for some players to get minutes. Jamie Turley is a good example last night, among a number of others, but then also at the same time to give people an opportunity to play their way into the team. And I thought there was a number of positive performances last night. Obviously, from a team perspective, we come back into the game well in the second half, but individually, it gives a number of people come out of it with credit, and gives the manager a bit of something to consider in terms of going into the next few games.
And one of those players that we should probably mention was Hector Cipriano. His senior debut was a fantastic performance from the young lad. Yeah,
absolutely delighted for him because I've been excited by Hector as a player for a long time. I worked with him when he was a very, very young boy. And then when I came back to the club, he was always somebody that I felt was going to have a real, has got a real positive future ahead of him. And he suffered a horrible injury in pre-season while we were away in Spain, which obviously set him back and put him to the back of the queue, if you like, in terms of getting his opportunity. So I was delighted for him that he got his chance last night, and I thought he grabbed it with both hands, and I thought it was a debut to remember to an extent. Sometimes a lad that plays in that deep position in midfield can sometimes get sort of missed in a game, but I thought he was really mature in the way that he defended, and the way that he used the ball was excellent. So absolutely delighted for him that he gets to put in a performance like that on his debut.
And another player, Sam Sargent, 2 very good stops in the penalty shootout.
Yeah, we used to have sort of quite a laugh last year about with the penalties, and if we stayed out and never did any finishing, we sort of always end it with a bit of a penalty shootout. Josh Karoma, Gormo, Julian Maguire-Drew, the strikers always used to finish by trying to put a few penalties past Sarge, and we always used to talk about his method and his ideas if it ever comes to a penalty shootout. So I had a real confidence in him last night that he was going to pull off a couple of saves. I called it before and said I thought he'd save 3.
And it's another cup competition this weekend, the FA Cup, and it's the first round against Malden and Tiptree.
Yeah, first of all, obviously nice for us to be back in the first round. Got into that position a couple of years ago and got knocked out by Gillingham, and then obviously last year we had the disappointment away to Maidstone. So it's fantastic to be back in the competition and have that entry into the first round because we're back in the Football League, not because we've had to play qualifying games to get there. So always excited about the FA Cup. Fantastic that it's a home draw. We were sat at Plymouth when the draw was done that night, having our fingers crossed that we wouldn't be travelling somewhere like that back down again for a game like that this weekend. So it's going to be different. Obviously, Remembrance Sunday, Sunday game, which is obviously unique, and we don't get too many of those at the level that we're at. So it's another big day, another big opportunity for everyone to try to build and kick on.
And like you say, you can perhaps take momentum from Wednesday's game into this one and look to build and then keep that going in league form against Scunthorpe and then Forest Green.
100%. Obviously, league form's always going to be the thing that we all aspire to do the best at, because we want to continuously improve and move up the league table. But we embrace this the FA Cup competition because it's such a fantastic competition. But they're all building blocks. Wednesday was a positive one. Hopefully Sunday becomes another one, and we give ourselves momentum to go into the next couple of league games with a positive and a feel good about the place.
So Ross, we're 4 games into Carl Fletcher's reign as the new head coach of Leyton Orient. How have you found it?
Yeah, obviously we haven't had the results that we all would have hoped for. I think it was always going to be different. Times things were going to change because there's a new person in charge and a new person sort of sitting at the top of the tree, if you like. So with anything, I suppose in any walk of life, if a new boss, a new manager comes in, so things change, circumstances changes, and that's something that we all have to embrace. So I think obviously we all come in every day to work tirelessly to give him the support that he needs and try to understand as coaches, when I talk about directly myself and Webby's, to really sort of get to grips with exactly how he wants to work and what he wants to do, and make sure that we give him all the support that we can in order to help him get those points across, but obviously help him ultimately to be successful at this club.
And for you personally, you talk about circumstances changing. You took on the interim head coach role in the summer under terrible circumstances, and for you now, you've been able to go back down to the assistant's role. How do you feel getting back there?
Yeah, again, it was going to be a big change because it's sort of gone from making the big calls, so to speak, at the end of every week to just supporting those decisions, which is something that I've always been comfortable doing, and obviously whenever I've discussed it since I made the decision to sort of step away from the head coach role, it's something that I'm really comfortable with to support that. So I think it's the same answer to the original question that you asked me there. Really, it's about me being adaptable and me showing the qualities and the ability to adapt and support Carl in terms of the messages and the information that he wants first and foremost, but us as a group of staff want to get across to the players in order to make us better and keep us improving and work us towards getting results at the end of the day.
Well, it's always a pleasure to hear from Mr. Embleton, isn't it? Now, I think it's time we get to know some of our younger first teamers a bit better. Let's head over to SWEENEY and SHABANI.
Alright, then I'm going to be asking you as many questions as I can in a minute, alright? Who is your football idol?
Gerard.
What is your favourite meal?
Chicken, rice, salad,
TV or music?
music.
Based on that, what is your favourite
Favourite
song?
Dave.
Would you rather have hands for feet or feet for hands?
Feet for hands. Hands for feet. Go on.
What is your favourite sport other than football?
Badminton.
What motivates you?
My family.
PS4, Xbox?
PS4.
What is your favourite game?
FIFA.
Who is your celebrity crush?
Megan Fox. Right, so now it's my turn to ask you, Sweens. So, other than the O's, what team do you support?
Liverpool.
If you weren't a footballer, what would you be?
Forex trader.
What is your favourite pastime?
Netflix.
Favourite film of all time?
Wolf on Wall Street.
If you could be any animal in the world, what would you be?
A dolphin.
Who are your top 3 footballers in the world, excluding Ronaldo and Messi?
Sterling, Mane, Firmino.
What is your favourite snack?
Ooh. 12s.
What was your favourite subject at school or college?
Geography.
If you could travel time, what point in the past would you go back to?
Ooh. Oh, Wrexham away. Those were the good old days, mate. Probably like 1600s or something like that.
What is your favourite destination in the world?
Dubai.
So round 2, lads, what we'll do in this game, if I ask you a question, you hold up the right boot, the blue one, if you think the answer is Jaden, or the red one if you think it's Brendan. Yeah, got it? So straight into it. You produce it as soon as I ask the question, yeah? Who's the most intelligent? Who's the hardest worker? Who's the best at FIFA?
Come on, trees.
No, that's me.
Come on,
Who's the worst fashion sense?
Oh my god.
Who has the best time management? Finally, we agree. Who gets scared the easiest? Who has the best weak foot?
I haven't played in a while.
I'm gonna have to say me, mate. After today's session.
Who's the funniest?
I'm pretty funny.
Who would be the best boyfriend?
Oh, definitely. You are shambles.
Who's the most likely to sleep through their alarm? Who's the most aggressive? Who gets the most stick off senior players? Worst music taste?
Oh, mate, you are shambles.
Nah. Don't forget about that.
Who's the most likely to get ID'd? Not for football, who is the most likely to be famous? Who's on their phone the most? Who eats the most food? Who's most likely to be the next Prime Minister?
Terrific stuff there from Sweeney and Shabani, and of course thank you as always to Ross for joining us on this week's episode. Now, if you are coming down to the game on Sunday against Morton and Tiptree, the O's have their Christmas range on offer. Don't be a mug and bottle it, because you'll be crackers to miss out. See you Sunday. No, Theo, honestly, you should have seen his penalty on Tuesday. He hit it right left post, bounced right off into the... Oh, just telling Theo about Lobby's penalty.